This past week the national average price for regular gasoline rose to $2.71 per gallon. That marks an increase of 46 cents per gallon since the beginning of the year. On a daily basis I see accusations on social media that this price rise is a consequence of Joe Biden winning the presidential election. I am going to explain why this is ludicrous, but I would pose the following to those who believe this to be the case. Since Biden's inauguration, daily COVID-19 cases have fallen by 2/3. Daily deaths are down by nearly half. Is Joe Biden responsible for this? If you say no, or you feel the need to hedge or qualify your answer, then you probably realize that cause and effect isn't quite as simple as that. The same holds true for gasoline prices. The main reason I can say that Biden isn't responsible for the rise in gasoline prices is that we understand pretty well why those prices are rising. Those reasons, mostly, have nothing to do with him. The single biggest factor influencing changes in gasoline prices is almost always underlying changes in the price of oil. Show me a time that gasoline prices spiked or plunged, and the vast majority of the time you will find that oil followed the same pattern. On the first trading day of January 2021, the price of West Texas Intermediate, WTI, closed at $47.47 per barrel, BBL. 2 months later, on the first trading day of March, the price closed at $60.54 per barrel. During the time gasoline prices rose by 46 cents per gallon, the price of oil rose by 31 cents per gallon. But gasoline prices often lag oil prices. In the past 6 months, the price of oil has risen by 56 cents per gallon, while the price of gasoline is up 50 cents per gallon. In other words, the vast majority of the gasoline price rise can be accounted for by the rise in the price of oil. I will explain other factors influencing the price of gasoline below, but why are oil prices rising? Is Biden responsible for that? There are 2 factors that have driven up the price of oil. One is that demand collapsed last year as pandemic measures were implemented and people stopped traveling. That, in turn, ended up idling 3 million barrels per day, BPD, of U.S. oil production relative to a year ago. As the end of the pandemic nears, oil demand is bouncing back. Supply doesn't react as quickly, and therefore that puts pressure on prices. If you think Biden is responsible for hastening the end of the pandemic, then you can place some blame for the rise in oil prices on him. But that's because the economy is beginning to recover, which is a good thing. Second, unlike a year ago, OPEC and Russia decided to cooperate by extending most of the current output cuts. Despite some recovery in demand, Saudi Arabia kept in place a 1 million BPD cut. That decision sent oil prices sharply higher, and will likely ensure additional gains in gasoline prices. Beyond oil prices, what other factors can impact gasoline prices? One of the most significant is any event that limits refinery capacity.